play fake here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, so many times defensive backs get caught playing the man rather than the football, but not in this case. That's an excellent play. Did exactly what you're supposed to do. Attack the football and help break up the pass.
And, yep, as a result, knocks it down. Throwing to Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Jones, 51 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Hey, tempo.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Jones coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Throwing is Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Here's Blunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On the ball, on the ball. He's set, lady.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Everyone's got 4 down. Set.
They'll run it here with Blunt. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
Or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all, and the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close and close quickly.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He lets it fly from Lockett. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hey, tag 50 left. 0.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Back to throw, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Hey. 4 down. Hey, give me radar.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Now it's Lockett. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They'll toss it out to Carson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. Open man, it's Bennett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a toss play. It's Carson. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. From midfield now, here's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes were being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Rolling to his right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's third down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On fourth, they'll go again and try it once more. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Wow, first and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. This is Carson. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now it's Wilson being chased out left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? From the shotgun, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Here's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now... For this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On second down, here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So out now come the Lions. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Check A2, check A2.
Zebra. 11.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They run again with Carson. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want him to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Wilson, flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Glover Quinn there on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 1st down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. Wilson now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 14. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run it with Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. On 3rd down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
He's got him in. Complete. He's at the 30. 20. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Jones, 88 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab the nugget when I can.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think. I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run it on the toss. Able to spin free. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Here's Carson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wilson rolling to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more, but a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Say, go here!
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Now it's Carson, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Check 50, check 50.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Right back to him on 1st down. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. 14 yards. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Janikowski good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. What a gut punch. That should be the nail in the coffin with those 2 points, making this a 2-score game now with time, Charles, clearly not on their side.
Yeah, they have to give the football away as well. Had a chance. Yeah, it was a small chance to get down the field. But guess what? This one's now just about over.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. A big game there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time."
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. One last throw here for Stafford. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road,